Hey everybody, welcome to your workout today. We have something pretty special, focusing on the outside of the hips, the core, but really targeting the outside of the core as well with stabilizing muscles. Let me start my timer, and here we go. Side plank on your elbow, hip up, so not low. I want you to push the hip up a tiny bit higher than you think it needs to be. Lifting that top hand to the sky. Pushing the shoulder away with the elbow. Don't allow it to collapse. Lifting your top hand up. Now reaching the top foot up as well. Taking a deep breath here. If you can, with the top hand, reaching underneath. Back up and rotating the thumb back, external rotation. Under and up. Nice. Other side. Side plank. Get set up. Pushing the hip up. Pushing the shoulder away. Make sure the elbow's right under the shoulder. Reaching the opposite arm up. So stretching, one hand up, pushing the opposite hand down. Now lifting that top leg. If this is enough for you, hold this here. If you want a little bit more, reaching that top arm, underneath, up, externally rotating the arm. I learned that from my personal trainer, Jay, from Linchpin. Pointing the thumb back. Arm under. This is the hardest variation. Now, if this is too much for you, then just have your feet on top of each other. If that's too much for you, drop the bottom knee. Nice. Back to your first side. Take your foot and put it out to the 45. Point the toes down. Go up as high as you can. Make sure your opposite hand is pointing up to the sky, so we're not using our hand to push off. I want it to be all hips. Nice. Reach as far forward as you can. 90-degree angle, leg parallel to the ground. Up and down we go. Using the breathing to help the leg move up and down. So inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Inhale, exhale. Find your breathing, find your pattern. Nice, other side. First one is at the 45. Focus on inhaling on the way down, and as you exhale, use the exhale to lift your leg. Up to the 90. When you're at the 90, your whole focus should be on using the leg, the hip, to lift the leg. Hips are so important in everything, and very rarely do we target the outside of the hips. So it's really important to do that. We're always focusing on the quads and hamstrings, but never the outside. Nice. Hands and knees. Bringing your right leg out. All the way out as far as you can, and just tap. So just tap this for 30 seconds. Again, finishing firing off the outside of those legs. 3, 2, 1. Tapping the other side. Out as far as you can to the side. If going out to the 90 is too hard, move to the 45. If a 45 is too hard, then just move all the way back behind you. If it's behind you, that's a bit of a break. So I want you to challenge yourself and see where you can do your taps. And we have 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Back to our side plank, your variations. 1, knee down, 2, 3. So find your variation. I showed it in the second set here because the first one, everyone should have been able to be up on the top of their foot, but now since we've targeted outside of those legs, you might not be able to. So find your variation, whether in your knee, whether both feet are on top of each other, or whether one foot is lifted. Now once you find it, reach up, inhale as you reach down, exhale as you reach up, externally rotating that arm. This is where we add a little bit of core. Make sure to keep the stabilizing muscles, the stabilizing shoulders strong. That's one we're sitting on top of, right here. Keep that strong. Nice, other side. Boom. Set your shoulder up really strong. Find your variation on your knee, feet on top of each other, or your leg lifted. And breathe. Stay here if you need to. I'd like to see everyone reach an arm under though. Exhale on the way up. Point the thumb back behind you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now everything you're doing, I want you to do it a little bit more. Pushing off the ground with the shoulder and elbow, reaching up to the sky, pointing the thumb towards you, keeping your hip up. Nice. On the ground. 45 leg raises. Up and down. Make sure your palm is facing up because I don't want you pushing off the ground with your arm. I want you pushing off the ground, well, I guess lifting with your hip. So inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. I have my toes pointed towards the ground just a little bit to externally, internally rotate that hip. Last 30 seconds. Foot parallel to the ground, 90. This is where the breathing becomes very important to use it with the movement. So inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Slow and controlled. This is an exercise where if you go quick, you won't get as much out of it. Nice. Other side. Palm up. Foot at the 45. Point the toes down. Inhale. Exhale. So find your pace, find your rhythm. Just remember, the slower it is, the harder it is. So you want it to be slow. Nice. All the way up to the 90. Foot parallel to the ground. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Doesn't matter if your leg is straight or not. Try to get as straight as you can, but don't sacrifice the 90-degree angle. Nice. On all fours, legs straight out. Boom. If you can, have it out to the 90. If you can't, do your taps out there to the 45. You can't do that, then you're just going to tap right behind you. Eventually, everyone should get to the point where they can just do lifts without the taps. It's their life's goal. All fours, other side. You might find one side burns a little bit more than the other. It's probably because it's a bit weaker. Usually favor one side of the body. And remember, if this is too hard, go to the 45. 45 is too hard, go all the way behind you. And if you're behind you, you should be able to do the exercise behind you without touching the ground. Nice. Last time through, here we go. I like to have my palm down with this side plank. Up, it's actually, sorry, palm up, my bad. Get that line, hand in line. Reaching for the sky. Actually, it doesn't matter much if the palm is down or up. I just find palm up, the arms kind of more in line. Find your variation, whether you are at 1, 2, or 3. Just remember, whichever one you are at, start moving. It has to be perfect. It's not about how many you do. It's not about how they look. It's not about doing variation 3 today. It's about doing whatever variation you are at as strong as possible, because then you build strength where you are. Quite often I see people trying to build strength when they're just not there yet. They'll be doing push-ups on their toes, other side, and their form just isn't there yet. And when we do that, it creates injuries, because there is no profit, there is no value in doing more than what we are capable of in terms of form. So the value is in pushing yourself within the boundaries of the safety of the technique. Like right now, I'm feeling I can do this well. It's hard, but I can do it well. As soon as I lift this leg, I can do it for a little bit, but I can feel my hips starting to drop. So I'm just gonna have both feet on top of each other for the next couple sessions here with this, and then eventually it'll get easier, and then I'll be able to lift maybe just for 1 rep. And then the next time, maybe just for 2 reps. So it's about just constantly getting a little bit stronger every day. You'd be amazed at how that all adds up. Palm up, and 45 leg raises. This time, you can have the foot parallel to the ground or toes facing up. Obviously, if any of this hurts, then with sharp pain, then just revise. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Nice. To the 45, get that leg as far forward as you can. Inhale on the way down, and use your exhale, use your breathing to lift that leg up. Couple more. Last time through, team. Nice. Other side. Straight line, 45. Find your breathing. It was a really powerful thing when I learned, it was actually quite a while ago, how to incorporate the breathing with movement, because once I did that, I could do so much more. 90, because you want to always think of breathing on the hard part of the exercise. That's like level 1 of breathing, always breathing out on the hard part of the exercise. There's obviously different ways of breathing, different ways you can use it, but that's what you need to start with. So when I'm going down, that's not hard, so I'm gonna breathe in, but I'm gonna exhale as I go up, breathing out on the hard part of the exercise. Nice. Last one, here we go, all fours. Start at the 90, couple taps. Now try to find your breathing. Now if the 90 is too hard, you can even go down to the 45 for a little while, and then go back to the 90. If you find your stabilizing leg, the opposite leg right here, the one I'm on my knee, is starting to burn a little bit, good. We just worked it out. The outside leg now has to stabilize to hold you up, so that's why. Both hips should be burning pretty good. And we have 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Other side. Here we go, our last minute. And the goal is not to be like upset with yourself. Oh, I need to be so much stronger. I need to be so much fitter. The goal is to be excited about the process of becoming stronger. And sometimes things are just hard, right? This is a really hard exercise with the hip. It's a really hard strengthening if we do it on top of each other. So it's just hard. And we're always so hard on ourselves. So I had a really cool thought where I'm like, what happens if, I heard in a yoga session, what happens if we come to the mat exactly how we are and that's enough? To meet ourselves exactly where we are and then just to keep working from there and strengthening from there. And that was a really cool thought. And applying that to other areas of my life too, just to get better from exactly where I'm at. Take away the judgment. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna add a really quick stretch for the outside of those hips. Ankle on the quad, reach arms through to the shin. Now, if the shin is a little bit too much, and it might be because we did create a lot of stress on the outside of the hips, then put your hands behind the hamstring. That's also really good as well. Flexing both feet and focus on the stretch. Inhale. Pull the leg in, exhale, focus on relaxing the leg out. Inhale, pull in, exhale, pull out. Okay, let go of that. Just a couple circles with the legs. Other side, couple circles. Nice. Ankle on the quad. Test it out, right? Grab behind the hamstrings. That's a little bit too much. I could do a little more. Then pull behind the shin. See if you can relax the back of your neck on the ground. If you can't, if it's too much with the shin, that's okay. Then grab behind the hamstring. We just did a lot of work here on the outside of the legs and we're stretching them. And breathe. Nice. This time, feet down, and just windshield wipe the knees to each side. So even though it's only a couple minutes, it goes by really quick, those couple minutes will absolutely add up. All right. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next session.